Let's start with who your captain play is for tonight. Reid, we're going to start with you. Most expensive guy in the captain spot, Lamar Jackson. He's going to cost you $18,600, more than $2,000 more than the next guy. Are you paying all the way up for him?
I'm not going to talk you off of Lamar Jackson, even though he's the most expensive by a long shot on this slate. Against the Raiders, he sets up perfectly, right? I mean, rushing everything, right? The Raiders struggled quite mightily last year on both sides of the ball. So I do get that, but I'm going to go with Derek Carr. I think Derek Carr has been, a guy that is just sort of middle of the pack, right? But or that's the sentiment that we feel like he's middle of the pack. But he's someone too that if you take a look at his numbers, they've been pretty good since 2016. He's got an 87.5 passer grade, which is the 9th highest in the NFL. And if you take a look at this defense, they lost Marcus Peters, and Derek Carr as a home underdog has positive splits. With a guy like Bryan Edwards coming through, we'll talk about him in a little bit, I'm sure. Darren Waller and Josh Jacobs potentially being out of this game. I think they're going to have to pass quite a bit, over under set at 50. So I like Derek Carr.
All right, Pearce, who are you putting your captain spot for 1.5 times the salary for 1.5 times the points?
I'm not going to overthink it. It's Lamar Jackson. He has to basically do everything. They don't have they have a running back, I guess. But for the most part, it's going to be him for the entire game. Las Vegas's defense, one of the worst last season. Maybe they've improved, but I don't think they've improved enough to shut down Lamar Jackson. The thing that is the real tell here is that the Ravens are still 4-point favorites. This line has not budged. They've lost their entire offense, and yet they're still implied to score 27 points. Who's going to score those points? Lamar Jackson.
All right, Geoff, what do we think? Who's your captain?
Yeah, it's so hard to pick against Lamar Jackson here. Again, it's not like we're going up. It's not like they're facing the Saints or like a really good defense or something. It's the Raiders. So even if we like the Raiders to score points, Baltimore is still going to score points on the other side. So I think that you have to have a very small player pool in terms of captain spots. I'm not confident enough to say a guy like Henry Ruggs or Sammy Watkins is going to get there from a value perspective. It could happen, absolutely. But I kind of have to say that if you're going at the captain spot, it's Lamar Jackson or it's Darren Waller for me. I would throw Derek Carr in there. I think those are the three guys you should really be considering for captain. I'm going to go Waller because, again, I think he's just going to see a ton of targets. I think with Josh Jacobs likely being out or at least questionable right now, that's going to lead to a few more targets. And the Ravens also didn't really guard the tight end position well last year. So I love Darren Waller. That's where I would go personally. But I think all three of the guys we mentioned here with Waller, Carr, and Jackson, that should be your captain player pool. And you shouldn't drift too far from that.